In just his third ever Indiana-Purdue rivalry game, Mackenzie Mbako started this game hot for Indiana. He had 11 of Indiana's first 15. They took a 7-point lead in that first half, and then Purdue erased it immediately to start the second half. They had to Trey Kaufman-Renn. He had the first 7 points in the second half, and now Purdue has kind of been on cruise control. Still a 5-point game, though, with 11:35 to go, 58-53.
Yeah, what's worked for Indiana, getting Goody and Mbako into this game, they really haven't done that much here in the second half. Out of the 12 points, just 2 have come from Mackenzie Mbako. And again, as foul trouble has started to ramp up a little bit, Renew with 4, Mbako and Ballo both with 3. Indiana need to find a way to manage things on the defensive end so they can keep their best offensive weapons on the floor.
Just before that under 12 timeout, media timeout, it was Braden Smith who threw the ball away. So Indiana cut the deficit to 5 and has the ball with 11:30 to play in the second half. Galloway brings the ball across the timeline, far side wing, double ball screen, stops inside the 3-point line. Mbako thought about a far side wing 3, now drive to the middle of the paint. Double clutch, no good, but the offensive putback for Oumar Ballo. Right-handed tip in makes this a 1-possession game. 58-55 Purdue, 11:10 on the clock. Smith starts the ball in the hands of Burgess, 2 feet in front of the perimeter. Caleb first, left wide open. It'll swing it around to Braden Smith on the far side wing. Back to first. Now in the corner, Miles Colvin. Thought about driving on Galloway, dribbles it back out. Now Harris with 7 on the shot clock, going to try to work around Goody. Stops at the elbow. Smith, the deep 3 for the far side wing. That one's too strong, but a rebound corralled by Burgess for Purdue. And Smith has a shot denied by Mbako at the rim. Indiana working in transition. Galloway, far side, Mbako to complete it, fakes the 3, takes the 3 and drills it. Huge swing for Mackenzie Mbako, and this one's tied up 58-58. Just a bit over halfway to play in this second half, 10:20 on the clock. Smith neglects the screen to the left, now takes it from the right and kicks it out to first at the top of the key. Gets it back on a handoff, stops at the near side elbow. 10 on the shot clock. First was denied by Goody, and it was batted out of bounds off the hands of Jakari Harris, and Indiana controls. Just like that, that prompts 2 Purdue starters, Trey Kaufman-Renn and Fletcher Lawyer checking back into the game for Purdue.
It was good defense there from Indiana, but again, from Mbako on that block at the rim of Smith. That was twice in that one possession, though, that Indiana lost Braden Smith. You cannot afford to do that. You won't get very many chances to stop him.
10 minutes on the dot, and we're all knotted up at 58. What more do you expect from this Indiana-Purdue rivalry? Ballo has it with a double team, back to the basket on the far side. Galloway, cross-court pass, Mbako fakes the 3. Now a couple dribbles inside, attacks and a spin move to put it off the glass. Mackenzie Mbako with 5 points, and it gives Indiana their first lead in the last 7 minutes, 60-58 Hoosiers. Lawyer catches it off the screen on the near side arc, and a moving screen on Kaufman-Renn. Indiana players are fired up after forcing a couple turnovers on back-to-back possessions. And that's foul number 4 on Purdue's second leading scorer today.
That is a huge foul.
Yeah.
And it's been 2 moving screens for Kaufman-Renn as well. These haven't been on the defensive end. They've been calling it this game. You got to be real careful.
That's a lot of moving screens today. It's a 9-0 Indiana run over the last 2:20. Three straight made 3-pointers for Indiana. Ballo has it on the far side block. Kick to Mbako. Tries a tough floater, and he got it. Back of the rim, front of the rim, down the basket. And Mbako has himself 7 straight points. Hoosiers up 4. Smith bringing the ball across the timeline for Purdue. Now Lawyer coming off. Smith's going to attack off the pass. Heidi left wide open for 3, and he left it short. Indiana corrals the rebound. Anthony Leal looks to push. Working on the far side before pulling it back out right in front of his own bench. Now handoff to Trey Galloway. Calls out an offense, working to the far side wing. Ballo back to the basket about 15 feet out. Catches a double team now. Mid-range jumper from Goody. That one's left short, and Purdue grabs the rebound. No numbers for Braden Smith, but he's going to attack between 2 defenders. Lob inside and hit the rim first, and Indiana grabs it off the rim. Trey Galloway has it. So 5 straight empty possessions for Purdue offensively. Indiana leads by 4 with 8:20 to go. Starting lineup looks like this. Devin Taylor lead off and play left field. Batting second and playing third base, Josh Pine, followed by Nick Mitchell. 3-0 comes in, get me over fastball down the middle of the zone, 3-1. 4, 5, 6 in the lineup goes Tyler Cerny, Joey Brancheski, Brock Tibbetts back at first base, and then Carter Matheson, Jake Stadler, and Jason Oliver to round things out. And Devin Taylor will get it started with a 3-1 single into left. Mike Bolton picks it up, throws into the infield, and Indiana's got a leadoff base runner.
And that is exactly why Jeff Mercer has moved Devin Taylor up to the leadoff spot. He's so hard to handle in that spot. You can't pitch around him because you don't want to start the game as an opposing pitcher with the leadoff walk. So he finds his way into hitters' counts, and then he does that. He singles you, he gets on base, or he can hit a home run. We saw a single right there from Taylor. It's just so hard to attack him to start the game.
Nobody out to start this game at the top of the first. One runner on, that's Devin Taylor at first now, and Josh Pine, who went 2 for 5 yesterday, will take a first pitch breaking ball on the outside corner. That 2 for 5 day finally gets him back to the 300 batting average point. He is a career 300 hitter here in Indiana. Fastball hit to left field again. This time at Bolton, he'll go over to his left, and he'll dive and make the play. Devin Taylor was halfway to second. He'll have to retreat back to first. A spectacular play made by the speedy Mike Bolton Jr.
We've seen Bolton and Taylor try and outdo each other defensively a lot this series. Devin Taylor made a diving catch yesterday. Mike Bolton getting Taylor back, keeping him at first base by making that diving catch there.
First out of the inning, first out of the game, the 3-hitter Nick Mitchell will try to keep the inning going. He went 2 for 5 yesterday with a couple of RBIs, got back into a groove after a rough Friday. Uncharacteristic from him, 3 strikeouts. Take another breaking ball in the outside corner. Beautiful first pitch. We saw it to Josh Pine as well. Lewinsky has not had the most successful season. We talked about the ERA over 7. His opponents are hitting over 300 against him on the year, but he's been used as the Purdue Sunday starter the last 3 weeks. Another check over to first, and Devin Taylor's in there without a problem.
Then you mentioned the opponent average against. When runners are actually on base against Lewinsky, that average goes up to 417. He has difficulty not allowing snowball innings. Once he allows a runner on, it tends to snowball from there.
Mitchell fouls one to the left side hard and out of play. It's a giant glove, the Purdue glove they have over there. Inflatable. I don't know if it's inflatable or a large plastic glove. But last time out, Lewinsky was sufficient. He went 4 2/3 against Northwestern, gave up 2 hits and 2 earned runs. 0-2 count here on Mitchell. Fastball outside. Kind of a throwaway pitch. Before that, 3 1/3 innings against East Tennessee State, where he only gave up 3 earned runs on 6 hits. And he threw 1 inning against Michigan State a few weekends ago, where he only gave up 1 run. So he's been better as of late. 1-2. Fastball outside again, evens the count.
And this is where Nick Mitchell gets tough for opposing pitchers. He still has less strikeouts than walks on the season. When he gets into those 2-strike counts, he has no problem shortening up and trying to take a ball the other way.
Lewinsky eyeing Devin Taylor at first. There's 1 out of the inning here in the top of the first. 1 runner on base in the 2-2 count. Mitchell grounds 1 to the right side. Right at Gill at second base. Flip to second in time. There will be no throw to first. Good play by Ty Gill getting the lead runner.
And again, we see no slide there from Devin Taylor into second base. That's a couple of times this weekend that he hasn't slid into second base. It didn't cost him or the Hoosiers on that one. But the speedy Nick Mitchell was probably not going to be gotten at first base given how softly that ball was hit.
So Mitchell replaces Taylor at first, but Indiana now down to their last out in the top of the first. Tyler Cerny is the cleanup hitter for Indiana. He's been the cleanup hitter for the last few weeks for the Hoosiers. Hit a bunch of different spots of the lineup this season. Started the season mostly hitting second, then you saw him in the middle of the lineup 5 or 6. But he is the team's leader in runs batted in, and that's the big reason they like him in this cleanup spot. A fastball in the outside corner called strike 1.
Cerny's really been Indiana's most consistent hitter this season, especially with Brock Tibbetts on the shelf for a handful of weeks.
0-1, hit high in the air but foul down to the right side.
So a little bit out in front of that pitch was Cerny. A good breaking ball there from Lewinsky. He's going to try and stay away probably from that fastball for the most part. This is an Indiana team that crushes the fastball.
He's 3rd on the team in home runs with a total of 8 this year after leading the team in RBIs. He's down at 0-2 hole with 2 outs, a runner on first base at the top of the first. Owinski deals from the stretch. Fastball in the dirt. First ball of the count. Owinski's got a large frame. He stands at 6'2" according to his roster. And he's got a decent velocity on that fastball, but he really likes to use his breaking ball down in the zone. Out of the stretch again. Set of the belt on the 1-2. Fastball just outside. Purdue fans thought it was strike 3. But home plate umpire today, Perry Costello, wasn't having it. Even 2-2 count now with 2 outs. Now it's Nick Mitchell standing at first base. Breaking ball low, counts run full. Tyler Cerny has battled back after going down 0-2. Big payoff pitch coming with Joey Brancheski standing on deck. He's had the first RBIs of the game in the last 2 games here in West Lafayette for Indiana. Payoff home. Hit hard down the left field line. That's going to get through for a base hit. Mitchell is rounding second. He was on his way. It was an action pitch. He'll get to third on the single to the left side for Tyler Cerny. They're on the corners.
This Indiana lineup is so difficult to navigate, and as you alluded to just a moment ago, Ben, Joey Brancheski coming up to the plate. He's delivered Indiana's first 2 RBIs in each of the first 2 games of this weekend series. We talked to him yesterday. He said the mojo and the motto in the dugout, despite Indiana struggling against Luke Wagner yesterday, was just to understand that they're still the best hitting team statistically in the Big Ten Conference. We'll see if Brancheski can come through here.
Nick Mitchell's on third. Tyler Cerny's now on first. The first pitch swinging. Brancheski into left at the glove of the right fielder, Keaton Taylor, who barely makes the play. Misread it at first, but was able to keep his feet in front and make the play to strand 2 for Indiana. We head to the bottom of the first. No score. And the rubber match between Indiana and Purdue on WIUX.
On the court, it's just kind of being that, even keel presence. I've been through anything you could go through in college basketball. So, I just try to, have a steady presence so everybody can look at me and feel cool.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a college basketball player that's been dealt a worse hand than Zach Fremantle. Heading into his 6th season at Xavier, he'd accomplished seemingly everything but play a single full season. But through 3 foot surgeries, team struggles on the court, and even a coaching change, it was never a thought in his mind to leave Xavier, a place he calls home.
Becoming in the best way, when I took my visit and got here, they just said all the stars aligned, and they've never really unaligned, and this is just the place that I know I'm meant to be. I felt like after everything that we've been through, I owe this place something. So that's just what we're trying to accomplish this year.
Deciding to stay put for his final season, his one goal in mind was to finally play that full year and avoid another season-ending injury. But all of that was at jeopardy when he took an awkward fall against rival Cincinnati. But when the whole Xavier fan base panicked, Zach didn't.
I just kind of tried to ignore it until I knew what it was, because obviously people will lose their mind because of history and whatnot. And so I was like, I'm not gonna even think about it until I get the MRI and know what's actually going on. And once we got it, it wasn't too bad, and we were able to get back on the court pretty quickly.
Once you got the MRI, how happy were you to see that it wasn't that bad?
I was ecstatic, yeah.
As the year winds down and this Xavier team sits squarely on the bubble, Fremantle hasn't had a ton of time to reflect on his over half a decade in Cincinnati. But when senior day comes around is when all the emotions will come out and show his love for a program he's never given up on and a program that's never given up on him.
I'm gonna be fighting tears for sure. When they call my name, I walk out with my family. I'm gonna definitely be holding it back. But I'm just so grateful for everything that I've been through, experienced here at Xavier.
What's your message to the Xavier fans during that night? What do you think it's going to be?
I just want to say thank you to all of them, every single one. I'm very grateful for all the love and support I've gotten over the years.
It's hard to pick which side of the ball played better today for Indiana, obviously with a 66-0 win and a shutout for the defense. The star of the defense here, write this down to remember it, 5 tackles for Jalen Walker, 4 of those for loss, 1.5 sacks. He had 2 pass deflections, an interception, and a forced fumble. The first road game of the first Big Ten game under the Signetti era for Indiana comes at a pretty cool spot here in Pasadena, California. Ben Haller alongside Joe Cronin for IUS TV Sports. We made it out to the Rose Bowl for a battle between Indiana and UCLA, 2 teams that haven't been tested a ton this year.